place. The entire neuro management dynamics is in this brain. Take any part of the brain. Out of these 4 pictures, take any picture that you are comfortable with. And this brain, this cauliflower, has different segments, but each segment works in tandem, in collaboration with each other. We are talking of a rational human being. We will not discuss about any other things. We are talking of how a rational human being encounters the waves of neuro. If you see the 5 sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin are located between the chin and the head, skull, right? And all these 5 are neighbors of the brain. So that's why when we think from the brain, when we analyze in the mind, all these 5 sense organs are working in tandem, whether we are sleeping or we are not sleeping, whether we are in a state of rest, whether we are in a state of anxiety, in any environmental atmosphere, all these 5 sense organs are working in tandem. Some of the questions, although Dr. Arif has beautifully encapsulated everything into one presentation, some of the questions are, is it that the era of interdisciplinary management has arrived? Yes. Is management wedded to neuroscience? Absolutely yes. Management activities and behavior, are they related? Yes. Do all this raise interesting neuromanagement issues, questions and all? Yes. Because I'm sure what Dr. Ankasha has presented and what Dr. Narendra has posed, many questions must be bubbling and jumping in our brains. Why did she say all this? Why is current applied to the brain? What is this magnet? What is this tomography? These are all we have studied in medicine, medical sciences. Is it both theoretical as a practical aspect? Yes. So all this, whatever has been put in the bullet marks, everything is a yes. And the bottom line is yes. A new wave is coming, like on the seashore. A new wave is coming. Either we encounter it with open arms, that becomes the best of friend, or we try to oppose it with closed arms like this, that becomes the best of enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, management is an interdisciplinary field, and it is high time that we start studying the neuro aspects of management related to the eyes, the blood, the breathing, the ECG cardio beats, right? The pattern of breathing, and even olfaction. That is the science of smell. When we buy apples or when we buy chiku, for example, chiku, that's a fruit that gets spoiled very easily over in a matter of hours or in a matter of couple of days. We smell it and then we buy it, isn't it? Why do we smell? That's an olfaction. When we smell it, immediately the information goes to the brain whether this is a stale fruit or it's an okay fresh fruit. And then should we buy it or should we not buy it? Should I buy it from this shop or should I buy it from that shop? Should I pay 100 rupees per kg or should I go for a bargaining? Everything starts jumping in our brains, and it is all in 1 trillion neurons. Remember, I did 1 trillion neurons that are acting, interacting, and clashing with each other, forming a pattern, forming an image, automatically going in for an image interpretation and giving us the output in a fraction of a nanosecond, right? So, as a rational human being, right from the time we get up from the bed till the time we go to the bed, we are always in a state of decision making. What course of action to select, how to arrive at a solution. For example, when we get up from the bed, the first decision that we take is when to get up from the bed and leave the bed. When we hit the bed in the night, when to hit the bed in the night. Evening 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or some also sleep at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So that's also a decision. So we are primarily hopping around alternatives and trying to find out which alternative is best for us, optimal for us, for a decision based on values and preferences. That means there are alternatives, right? And how good or how bad or how ugly and how pretty the alternatives are, we cannot decide. Remember one thing, I might be sounding like a Baba, we never take a decision in our life. We choose an alternative hoping that it is perhaps the best alternative that satisfies my wants, desires and needs. And perhaps this is the best alternative that I can latch on of all the available alternatives. best fits with my goals, desires, lifestyle, values, so on. So there is a cognitive process. The brain is ticking all the time. Every fraction of a second, it's ticking. Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Right? And in this which one, there are chances that we may pick up the wrong alternative. There are chances we might pick up the right alternative. And whenever there is a gamble, remember, there is always the element of risk, uncertainty, probability, etc. etc. What are the influencing factors? When we are gambling with an alternative, these 6-7 points that are there, we have personal biases, we have our own thought process, we have our own feelings, we might be an extrovert, we might be an introvert, we have our own versions, then we might be judgmental. What our eyes sees and our skin feels, we might have a perception, we have a sensing, sixth sense. Recently, I spoke to a vice chancellor of a university. She's right now in USA. She was speaking to me on the seventh sense now, right? She has written a book on the seventh sense. And then we have the search for evidence. The first thing that we say is, how do you know? Show me the proof, show me the evidence. Because then we have the inertia or motion unless acted upon by forces external and internal. Now, when you inject this neuro management thing, what happens? There's a new field that has come up, neuro entrepreneurship, management science. Now, along with MBA, we have a new course that has come up over the years that is called MMS, Master of Management Studies or Master of Management Science, which is totally, directly, indirectly, with all the curves that you can make related to psychology. Because psychology is a study of the. So now we have a new field that has come up, neuro entrepreneurial management, which was started by Professor Qing Ma, University in China, right? Interface between the entrepreneur business and brain science. For this is not smooth. So that gives us an opportunity to really deep probe into the aspects. And remember what Dr. Ankasar said, modern neuro management is giving a challenge